Hi, I'm Trevor Land from RevTrev.com, and I'm here talking with my friend Cheryl Shea of EdmontonCounselingServices.com, and she's helping to answer questions from RevTrev readers that they've sent me over the last couple of months. And Cheryl is a great resource for us here, and I really thank you for being here, Cheryl. Cheryl, this next question comes in. All the details are there, but the final question that it kind of arrives is it selfish for me to ask God for a man? What, I mean,
I take it that means ask God for a husband, right?
husband, yes. Yep. That's what it's saying. Yeah. So basically, yeah, like I think this delves in the whole idea that, God isn't really passionate about me. Like does he really care about what I care about? Or, as long as I'm doing church work, I'm in his will, but if, hey, heaven forbid, I actually try to do anything on my own,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, what, give me your response. Is it selfish for
So
somebody?
the answer is it selfish to ask God for a husband? The answer is definitely no. Go ahead and ask. The verse that always gets quoted in Proverbs is it's not good for a man to be alone, while the opposite, it's not good for a woman to be alone. And I think, um, yeah, God does care about us, and God's. It doesn't mean we're not in God's will if we're single, because I have been most of my adult life, and but it's also good to ask. Now, I'm just going to throw in these things because these are all the tricks that I've heard from Christian people over the years about how to find a man, how to pray for a man. So these are things not to do. Well, you can do them, but I don't know that they're not. They would always be put forth as sort of these little formulas that are going to work.
Yep.
So the one is to write down what you'd like in a partner. So I guess this was go the opposite for men, what you'd like in a wife, what you'd like in a husband, and ask God specifically about that.
Yeah, you know what? That's what my wife did, and she got everything, and it scares her now because she didn't know what she was asking for. Anyway.
Yes, that's the problem. The other problem is you don't always know yourself well enough
Well,
to know what
exactly.
you really need, right?
That's it.
So, it doesn't, you can do it or you cannot do it, doesn't matter. But yeah, poor Karen.
Almost everyone, you were at her wedding. Almost everyone at her wedding came through, congratulated me, and told Karen they were praying for her. Can you believe that? Like, those are people that knew me. Like, they knew me. Anyway,
Uh,
it's been 18 years.
okay, so you can make a list, you cannot. Doesn't matter. But ask God. Let God know the desires of your heart.
Mhm.
Then I've had people that say, well, you need to pray every day. Well, whatever. Then other people say, well, ask God once and don't ask anymore. Well, whatever.
That's not biblical either.
Um, just be open to how God wants to lead. I have a wonderful man in my life, and I pretty much. Oh, this is the other. I'll say this. The other one is when you give up asking, when you give up hope, that's when God will bring someone along. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. But I mean, it was, my mom had died 6 months before. I was selling snow tires. And so my roommate at the time said, put them on Skype, or not on
That's
Skype,
right.
on Kijiji, plug
Kijiji.
for Kijiji. Um, and so I did. And like I said, my mom had died not too long before, and I wasn't doing great, to be honest. And so this guy showed up to buy my snow tires, and he seemed kind of cute, and he seemed really nice and wonderful, and he drove off with after paying for my snow tires. He drove off into the sunset, and I thought, oh well, whatever. And the next day, he sent me an email and very graciously asked me to go for coffee, and coffee ended up being supper, and that was 3 years ago. So that's not how I expected things to happen.
Hmm.
Um, but God knows. So I think ask and be open to where He wants to lead. Also, depending on your age, be careful with online dating.
Mm-hmm.
There was an article in the, I think last week, well, I guess people won't know the week, but a recent Maclean's magazine about online dating and marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the cautions that came out of the article was that, there's nothing wrong with online dating, but the fallacy it gives you is that there's a lot of options out there.
Mm.
So you can be really fussy about who you want. And I find often for Christian people, we can have these idealized who we think should be our partner.
Yeah.
And so we might miss that because the person isn't according to our ideals. So that's something to just kind of keep in mind when you're asking too.
Yeah. My mom, when my dad passed away, and over I don't know, took some time. There was this friend of hers that they were kind of considering dating, but mom wanted to be sure, so made him go on this dating site with her, just if there's anyone out there for him, right? The only ones that came up for either of them were each other, and and they're married now. So anyway,
lovely.
She was kind of intent on getting him someone else, and then it's like, okay, well, maybe if the computer tells me it's the one it's supposed to be. Anyway.
Yeah, I won't tell you my horrific online dating stories.
Yeah.
Be careful out there.
Yeah, I think the main thing, like I see in people, I mean, it's when it's time, right? Like, there is something to be said that you need to be open, right? If you were just not looking for any kind of relationship, and your friend came and bought the snow tires, it wouldn't even enter your mind, right? And he would have called and
Right.
go, no, this is creepy. He's calling me, right?
Yeah.
But so you've got to be open to it. And I totally agree that, I mean, Jesus taught us to pray and never give up. And if we delight ourselves in the Lord, he'll give us the desires of our heart. And I haven't seen all my desires fulfilled, but I have seen my desires change as I pray.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And when my desires start to end up more with his desires, it seems to kind of work better, The whole pray and ask according to his will. Like I totally, it's from the beginning. God created man. It was the first thing he said wasn't good, that he was alone, and so it's not good for us to be alone. And I don't believe that there's just one person for us. I believe that there's a range of people that we can connect with, and it's more a matter of timing for us. That when we're ready, when they're ready, and when God kind of brings us together. Anyway, there is, I don't, it's not selfish to pray for what is on your heart.
No. And allow God to do with that what he wants, not what you want.
He's
and
God.
We did another Counselor's Corner on soulmate before, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
So that's on here. But in the same article, Maclean's magazine said the whole concept of soulmate actually is, in their research, that it's detrimental to long-term marriages, because it's like if you don't find the perfect person, then it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Then you can look for someone else, right?
That's it.
So it was a good article. If you want to read it, it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, your marriage is, it's about commitment.
Yeah. Exactly.
It does. I mean, if you got, you're going to disagree. You're going to almost violently disagree at times. You're going to be offended continually. You're going to have to forgive. You're going to have to get over it. You're going to have to lay down your life for the other person. And but it's good. When I did premarital counseling, my first homework assignment for people was I'd give them an article to read and talk about and come back and talk about. And almost exclusively, especially first time I'm getting married and I'm young and this is the person for me, it'd come back and they just wouldn't get the article. If it was a second or third marriage, they'd come back and we'd have good discussion. The article is entitled "What if God made marriage to make us holy and not happy?"
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh my goodness,
exactly.
yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for that, Cheryl. And if you please check out Cheryl's website, edmontoncounselingservices.com. She is in Edmonton, but she can counsel you anywhere over Skype. And she's got great articles on there. She's got great resources. She has her book available on there. And please feel free to do that. Cheryl, thank you so much. And we'll
You're
see you next
welcome.
time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.